to my channel, Tea with Nikki, and welcome to Goal Power. This is a series looking at how I bullet journal, set goals, and generally organise my life here in Northwest London. You can find me on Instagram at hippie_Nikki, and if you would like to see more knitting and crochet, you can check out my podcast, Tea and Possibilities, which you can also find on this channel. Today, I want to talk about brain dumping. Now, that is not the nicest phrase in the world, but it feels so good. If you've seen my current bullet journal walkthrough or my bullet journal evolution, you will know that these days I like to keep my bullet journal quite minimalist. I don't really decorate or create elaborate planners. I just try to keep it really quick and easy to use. But one of the regular features of my bullet journal is the weekly brain dump. So I wanted to show you this and talk about how I do it and why I find it really important. Now, you will have seen a little bit about my brain dumps in my Scrappy Spaces video, but I don't always use my Scrappy Spaces for that. That is for when my brain is so full that I need to get out absolutely everything, including all the things I cannot hope to get done that week. As you will have seen in that video, there is stuff on there that I still haven't gotten around to, but it's kind of on my radar because I got it out, which is great. But what I try to do with the weekly brain dump is things that I just need to get done this week. So I will get out my bullet journal and I will leave my jotter behind. I'll grab my pen, put that to one side. I usually do this on a Sunday night. So we're doing this at a slightly different time of day. But what I usually do is go through last week's brain dump. And I will make sure that I cross off everything that I have got round to doing. And then I mark with a little arrow as per the bullet journal method. Just a little arrow so I know things that I haven't done. And usually it's things that I want to move over to the following week. Otherwise, I just kind of leave them. If I look at it and go, oh, do you know what? That's no longer a priority. I will just leave them. So there we go. I've marked up my previous week's brain dump. As you can see, I didn't do much bullet journaling last week, but that's fine. I have this lovely empty space to start a new weekly brain dump. Now, I always love to work on a brand new page. I don't like to have it squished down one page. I like having it on one page because then if anything occurs to me throughout the week, I can just add it to the bottom of the list. I know I've got all the space in the world there. I don't like adding them to my daily lists unless I do plan to do them that day. So we start by just popping the date on the top. And the very first thing I do is check for events. Events always go at the top. Now I can do that in a number of ways. The first is I can flick to my calendar and see if I have anything going on this month. And June is, due to lockdown, very empty, so that's a no. I can also flick back to my year ahead and check if there is anything happening. Again, June is very, very quiet, so that's a no. The last place I will check is my Google Calendar, just to be sure, because I do tend to pop things in there when I'm at work, for example, and I can see that I don't have anything to worry about this week. So there we go. So there are no events, but if there were, I would use a circle and I would jot down in date order what they were. And it just really helps to have them at the top so it's super clear. But as I don't have any, it's time to think about what I need to get done this week. So the first thing I do is I refer to my previous week's list because is there anything that I need to carry over? And there is a few things on this list that I do need to carry over. Once I have moved everything over from last week, now is the time to just jot down everything that is on the top of my mind. And there we go. That is my weekly brain dump for the week ahead. At the time of filming this, we're currently still in lockdown, so I very much have my bullet journal with me at all times, but I carry it with me wherever I go. It's always in my handbag. So anything that pops into my brain, I can just jot it down immediately and it's there for easy reference. When I come to writing out my daily to-do list, as you can see here, I always start with any events at the top and then I write down my to-dos. More often than not, I pull them directly from this weekly to-do list, but sometimes I do jot down things that come to mind. Oh, I need to do that today, and I'll just jot it down without adding it to the brain dump. But this is a great reference. I usually do this on a Sunday evening. It's a great way just to kind of close down the week before and open up the week ahead. My brain is usually nice and relaxed. I'm usually kind of aware of how much I have to do that week. So it's a really good time to do this. While this isn't a traditional bullet journal method, I do highly recommend it. I really love getting my brain completely empty for the week ahead, so I don't feel like I'm figuring out every day things I need to do. They're always just there, and I can focus on actually getting the things done rather than remembering to add them to a list. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that was useful. I know a lot of people use the more traditional bullet journal method where they just jot things down on a daily basis, and I do use that too, as you will have seen. But I find doing a good brain dump at the end of the week, ready for the week ahead, is really, really cathartic for me and really helps me organise my week as well. How do you feel about the brain dump? Are you, like me, a massive fan, or do you just find it a bit odd? As always, I would love to hear in the comments below, so please do let me know what you think. Until next time, take care, and I will see you very soon for another Goal Power. Bye!